were doing the 40 days of prayer and fasting towards the camp with my friends in campus. We organized Acacia to start that, and yeah. But in that period, I went through very hard times. Like I told you, my brother had a personal challenge. Also, the covenant sister I used to have also faced another personal challenge that forced her to leave our campus, and it was a very difficult thing for me. I will not go to details due to the sensitivity of the matters, but those two things hit me like a brick of walls. And on top of that, we had a strike in our school, and our academic year was blamed for it. So we were suspended for 9 months. So even as I'm planning for the Legacy Camp 4, now I'm at a place where I'm really, discouraged, feeling depressed, feeling beaten down, but I'm still having, the determination to pull through with the conference or the camp. So we started the period of prayer. We prayed. I remember at some point I was really discouraged. I rushed down to Katoloni just to jumpstart my prayer engine, because I literally didn't feel like praying. I was feeling like, God, you have let me down. People have let me down. I can't do this. And so I went to Katoloni, I came back revived, and we continued with the prayers. Of course, we came home for long holiday due to the strike. And when we came home, but before we came home, remember in 2015 I had started selling the graduation flowers, for lack of a better word. So I had decided I will scale it up in 2016 and sell the graduation flowers, actually not to ECD schools, but to campus during our graduation in campus. So I remember I thought of a great business plan that flopped. But it flopped so badly. But that thought I implemented. I asked a friend to loan me 7,000 Kenya shillings. My intention was to just give tithe and then use the rest of the money to buy various types of flowers, expensive ones, medium, average, and then the simplest. And then selling the graduation, I was sure I would make more than double profit, return his money, and have the rest of the money to myself. I actually can be crazy. I actually got people to help me, and I promised them I would pay them by commission. I got 3 people to help me. So I was convinced that from that 7,000, I could get a minimum of 20,000 as return on investment, pay the guy back with interest, and then have pay the commission to my friends who are helping sell, and have the rest for myself. So I went to Nairobi and I did buy the flowers. When we came for our graduation, as we were selling the mauas, the flowers, I was highly disappointed because the competition was high. There were so many vendors selling, and then they had average and low quality flowers, and they were selling them very cheaply. So that forced me to sell even the ones I had bought very expensively at a loss, because I was desperate to sell and refund. So we sold, but I was not able to even get to the capital, the one I'm supposed to refund. So that was also, I felt so beaten again. I'm feeling even in business, Connie, what's happening? And so after that, I sent a friend with the flowers to go and sell at a university in Eldoret, but still we did not get a return on investment. So I had to look for ways to pay back my friend, because he was not happy. He wanted his money back, and he was very cross with me. Of course, as you'd expect, he wanted his money back. That's all he wanted. And with the interest, he insisted on the interest. So, yeah, that was difficult. And then I also came home. Like I told you, I was beaten emotionally. And the devil had drained all the joy I had, all the hope. So I was just getting by. And because within I didn't have joy and strength, things were just happening. And I could not even some things I could not understand. I remember I came and washed, I did laundry. I washed clothes for everyone and I hung them. And then someone came and unhung only my clothes. A thief came to our compound and stole my clothes specifically. I cannot tell you how crazy that was. He stole my dress, a beautiful Dera dress, my towel, my things. He or she, whoever the person was, stole my clothes specifically. He did not touch the others. I was like, what is this? You know, with ministry comes strange attacks, and sometimes nobody prepares you for it. When you go in and you are just passionate, you don't realize the kind of attacks the enemy can bring to you, especially when you take yourself too seriously. For me, I never took myself too seriously. I knew I was called. I knew what I was doing was special, but because I was not seeing 100 people, I never thought that the devil had interest in attacking me. But like Apostle John Kimani Williams says, the devil does not attack success, he attacks potential. So he saw the potential and he was attacking the potential of the vision and even of me, the vision carrier. So I was like, what is this? Oh my God. And then that year we had planned for the camp to be after Christmas. So I went through Christmas a bit tensed. I knew I was alone for the first time because my brother was not coming to help me to plan. Rather, I could not engage him. I chose not to engage him. I just decided that he needs that space. I was on my own. I was wondering, will people come? Will I have 30 people again and all that? So I was not happy. My birthday is normally on the 22nd, and that's when we start our Christmas celebration. So from the 22nd to the 25th, I was just getting by. I was not necessarily happy and hopeful. So we got by the Christmas, and now it is time for camp. And on the day that the camp was starting, one of the things that happened is that there are some ministers that I had invited, and even I had put them on poster, and they withdrew. I remember there is one I sent some money and he said, I don't think this will be enough to get me there. I'm wondering. So I felt so discouraged by that statement. Then the other one told me it's Christmas time. I don't want to leave my family, so I'll not be able to come. And then he refunded me the money I had sent him. So 2 of the ministers withdrew. My friends also could not make it because it was the post-Christmas season. It was still the holiday season. And so we are starting the camp and I'm feeling so alone, so discouraged. And to make it, to add salt on injury, because we were hosting the camp again in our local church in Joron. I remember there's this family in our church, a very dear family, and their 2 daughters had gone to the village, or rather to Shago for Christmas. But they had requested their father to allow them to come back on time for the legacy camp. And so the father and the big sister had gone to pick them. I think it was in Londiani. And as they were coming back, they were involved in a grisly road accident. And because there was a medical strike, hospital workers had striked, they did not get immediate medical attention. And so the 2 girls passed away on the day the camp was beginning. I cannot tell you the devastation I went through. It was crisis. My heart was completely shattered. If I had a way of calling off the camp, I would have called it off. But some people, of course, had come from far. So we tried to encourage ourselves in the Lord. It was difficult. I could not believe the girls are dead. It was bad. I told God that day, God, this is the last day I will ever do this thing. How can you let this happen? Surely I will not do this again. But we put through the camp. God provided. God brought other ministers. Again, the presence of God was heavy. I remember my sister led in worship in that camp. I have seen her worship, but there was something special about how she worshipped in that season. She led us in intense worship. I had some of my cousins also attending. They were also here, and it was an intense time in the presence of God. We were again few, we were encouraging each other after that loss, you know. So we had a wonderful legacy. It was called Wisdom to Rise. It was a powerful, theme for the camp, and we covered wisdom for relationship, wisdom for identity, wisdom for sexuality, wisdom for entrepreneurship, wisdom for eternity perspective. It was a powerful time, but my heart was shattered. So that's how the camp was. It was good, but it was very hard. And given the kind of effort I had put in that year, I just felt, God, you can't be serious. So after that camp, I told myself, I will not do this thing. When I went for the burial of the girls, I told God, we bury them, I bury the vision as well. It was that bad. So I went into 2017 totally surrendered. Not surrendered in a good way. I did not surrender to God. I surrendered to warfare. I said, I'm defeated. I can't do this. I won't do this. And so that's how we closed that year. After the powerful Acacias, the powerful. And let me finish by saying this, that sometimes after great victories, you need to be very careful. And when you're doing ministry, you need to be very conscious that you are going to the camp of the enemy directly, and he will not be smiling. He will come at you with everything he has. So you really need to have an awareness that you're in warfare and that you are victorious. Whatever happens, you're still victorious. And so wage war, and the Bible says, after you have done all, stand. So I think I had done all, but I could not stand. I just fell. So I said, this is the last, and I will never do this. But God is a God of miracles. He's a God of resurrection. When we meet next time, I will tell you what happened and how did we manage even to do legacy camp, even after the discouragement and the giving up. So God bless you. Thank you for listening. See you next time.
J I J